I want to introduce this idea, this new series on faith. And so, as soon as I say the word faith, the first thing that comes to your mind is, Chris, this is not new. This is old. I already know all about faith. I've heard that word so many times. Who here grew up in church? All right. Who here doesn't even know you're at church? Is that what this was? You are. It's a word that's used a lot, and so if I could just have a little mental garbage can up here, you with me? Big garbage can. I want you to take whatever you thought of faith, and I want you to put it in this trash can, if you can do that. I want you to unlearn it for just a minute, and for about 7 weeks, I want to talk about faith, and maybe you will think of it and understand it in a way that you hadn't before. Fair enough? It's hard to let go of a way we think about things, but I want you to try. And as we said last week, faith will make you a calm, a confident, and a curious person. Yes? Oh, the kids. Thank you. Hi. Hey, all the kids. Excellent interruption. Well done. Yeah, all the kids. You guys can go to Kids World Special Service. You certainly don't want to hear what I have to say. That's an absolute for sure. Anyway, that faith will make you a calm, a curious, and a confident person. And so we're going to talk about it. And today I want to talk about taking your life to another level. All right? So all the kids, if you want to go to Kids World, there's a special program for you. Just go back that direction. Look for some adult waving their hands furiously. There they are. Back that way. Fantastic. Faith is taking your life to a different level. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says this: we walk by faith and not by what? Who knows this? We walk by faith and not by, let's say it together. We walk by faith and not by sight. So faith is literally taking your life to a different level. And I just want to do an aside for some of you that go, oh, I knew it was going to be a church service. And Chris, I got to be honest with you, I don't believe in all those fairy tales anymore. So just hold for a minute. Or you have a friend that mocked you last night when you were talking and you said you were going to church and they rolled their eyes or they said something smug. Or is anybody with me? This is because what's happened is for a lot of people, what they believe is if you're a person of faith, you've taken your life down a level. You've gone down a level. Oh, that's cute. And what they mean is that's unfortunate that you still grab on to those kinds of things. And I want to talk about it, and I want to plant a word in your head that you might use somewhere down the road. You don't need to know this word. It's not a word that we throw around a lot. But I want to just plant a little seed. You'll come back and visit it some other time in the future, okay? And this, by the way, this doesn't even apply to some of you. You don't need this, but some of you need it today, and some of you will need it in the future. All right? The word is transrational. So I said, I just planted over there. You said, Chris, why are we talking about this? Get the katinas back, please. Transrational. Now, people that study how we think have understood and proposed a couple levels. Pre-rational. Now think about it. What does it mean? Before you are rational. So who's pre-rational? Charlie is pre-rational. Young children are anyone ever try to reason with a child? All right, the Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 13, when I was a child, I thought like a child, and I what? Reasoned like a child. They can't reason very well. They don't reason well. So Charlie says, animal cracker, her first articulate set of words. Animal cracker. She has nailed down, right? And if you try to tell her, well, I know you want an animal cracker, and animal crackers are okay, but first we'd like to get some nutritious food inside of you so that you grow to develop to be a healthy young human being. She goes, oh, that sounds logical. Or she just goes, animal cracker? And when you're young, you're pre-rational. They've even talked about how in the history of humanity was pre-rational for a long time. They believed in superstitions and all these magic, and there were all these ways of thinking about the world. Like when it was thunder and lightning, it was God was mad at you and he was doing something. And these were all pre-rational ways of thinking. And then, of course, rational is, we get that. That's, I think, logically. So you have pre-rational, then you have rational, which is logic or adulthood. By the way, there are bridges between the two. What's the bridge between pre-rational and rational? Teenager. They're nuts. No, I mean, they're transitioning. No, they're transitioning. I'm kidding. I love you guys. I worked with teenagers. We did a lot of stuff with teenagers, didn't we, fellas, for a lot of years. But they're transitioning. So sometimes they're logical, and then sometimes, right, completely illogical. They're transitioning. The problem is most of society has settled for rational. They've settled. This is it. We've arrived. Now listen carefully. The education system lives in rational. They live there. And this is an important part. Anything that's non-rational, they assume is pre-rational. Did you hear what I said? So anything that's not rational, they go, oh, that's pre-rational, that's childish. That's why your friends rolled your eyes when you said you're going to church tomorrow. Oh, that's cute. Oh, your family needs that. You know, you're weak, but we're rational. We know we have things figured out. The problem is also not just with the education system or, quote, secular. It infects and influences the church. So the church has fought back. No, we're rational. That's why you see all these books. I was cleaning out one of my libraries, and I threw away just hundreds of books that from early parts of my years, and I had all these books, and a lot of them had to do with proving our faith. And why faith is reasonable, why faith is rational. And so what we did, the church tried to fight back and say, no, our faith is logical. We wanted to win at this level instead of what? Moving to the next level and say, this is trans-rational. You say, well, that's just fairy tale fantasy. No. This is beyond what any rational mind can put together. It's called mystery, paradox, or faith. All that to tell you, trans-rational is a word that's used in circles that study these things to just say something that we've always called faith. I don't understand everything. And faith isn't a cop-out to say, I'm pre-rational. It's saying, look, everything that God is and the universe is, and it can't be put into a box of the human mind. It's beyond. It transcends. Faith is intuitive. Have you ever known something down here? Can I say something else? This is just my guess. In my observation, women are better at this than men. In general, they're more intuitive. They're just intuitive. Meet somebody, start to leave, the wife goes, boy, I didn't have a good sense about that. And the guy's like, what? What'd they say? What did they do? And then I need a fax. Can you get a transcript? I want to read it. And I need line by line by line. And I don't know why this is. This is just me, all right, from the hip. But I don't know why this is, or if this is entirely true. It's my observation, but they tend to be, which is why you tend to see women larger at attendance at churches than men all over America. It just makes more sense to them, and I'm not sure why. It's intuitive based. It's not less. It's not a lower level. It's not pre-rational, and it's not rational. And by the way, the church has gotten stuck here, like in a little food fight. That's where the whole, the monkey scopes trial and all these arguments over evolution and the Bible and all it's missed the point entirely. Did you know President Carter, I've heard and read, I don't know if it's true, took his plane over in Turkey, over like Mount Ararat to try to, because did you know President Carter was a Sunday school teacher? My dad took us down to Plains, Georgia when I was a little kid to see where he taught Sunday school. We're on a road trip one time. And so he's very into the Bible and that sort of thing. But people have gotten lured in, gotten suckered into, now we're going to find Noah's Ark, and then it's all going to be proven, and we're going to be right, and we're going to be rational. Listen carefully, which misses the point entirely. We got lost. The church got lost in rational. That's actually a lower level. Can I tell you something else? There's a reason that you felt something here when we were singing. When we worship, it's trans-rational. How do you get from rational? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being here. Everybody is here at some point in their life. There's nothing wrong with being here. But the problem is the people that are here and they want to fight to be here, they're afraid of this, and so they call this that. Oh, you're just a child. And if you've never tasted this, that's all you could say. Don't be mad at your friends for rolling their eyes at you. They haven't tasted this yet. Who's ever tasted a really good meal? You just wanted someone else to go, you tried to describe it to somebody? Like, And instead of words, you just had like groans, like, it was so, Maybe what Paul wrote about me, he said, well, they're like groans that cannot be uttered. But people are like, no, I want to give it. And by the way, have you noticed, like the churches, they settle for beliefs. Everybody, here's our church's beliefs. That's rational. Faith is not beliefs. It's a system of rules and things that you believe. You check off, I believe in this, I believe in this, I believe. I'm trying to invite you over here. Swim in this water a little bit. Perhaps this is where the rabbi from Galilee swam, over in here. And he called people. The church has been here for a long time, in general. And we try to differentiate between the non-believers and those people, and it's like it's like the difference between chunky and smooth peanut butter. Like, no, we got nuts in ours. This is like, and then they're going, you guys are nuts. And we're like, no, this is the real stuff. And it's still peanut butter. We spend a lot of time here trying to prove who we are and what we are. Truth. I spent time here, a lot of time here. I look back at some of my old sermons. I'm glad you guys are still here, but it was, we're going to prove this and we're going to prove that. And what about when you get to the place where you don't need to prove anything? I don't need to prove anything to you. It's here. Intuitive based. Yesterday, we went out surfing, took the guys surfing. And I'm trying to take their surfing to another level. But most of them went down a level since the last time. Now, they grew up on an island in Samoa, but most of them act like they've never seen water before. There's a lot of this going on. And the word was relax. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to relax. Trying to get you up here. There's another level. Anyway, we came inside after everything's over, and you know, Charlie's got mom and dad, you know, she's got grandma and, you know, a couple of close friends, babysitters, but there aren't a lot of people that she'll just run up to and hug. And she's met the guys, man, but it was like a long time ago. And Sam walks up. Sam has 3 daughters, right? 3, Sam? 4. 4 daughters, my bad. Yeah, exactly, 4. Sam plays the keyboard, in case you don't know. He's got 4 daughters. So, I mean, Charlie really doesn't know them. He walks in, and he grabs her. He starts carrying her around. Now, I'm just telling you, she doesn't do that. She's going to push you away, turn her. She'll probably start crying, most people, if you did that. And she didn't say a peep. And next thing you know, Sam's walking around with her. And next thing you know, she's got her head. She won't snuggle with me. I mean, I command her. I command you, snuggle. She won't do it. She puts her head down, and she snuggles for a half hour. Now listen to me. Intuition. She knew. Here's a daddy that knows girls. Here's a daddy that's safe. Intuition. First of all, don't let anyone tell you your faith is pre-rational, or whatever words they want to use for it. Silly, stupid, ignorant, uninformed. And neither, don't get up there. Can I just say this? I mean, you can if you want to, but it's tired after a while. Don't get up there with your chart of where Noah's Ark probably is and some guy that's got a piece of wood somewhere in his office. Because eventually they'll test it and they'll go, no, they found that in Walled Lake. You know what I mean? But we get lured into these things. They're interesting websites. Oh, a piece of Noah's Ark. Let God take you to this level. Not everything has to be proved. Not everything is completely understood. Boy, we like to understand things, don't we? It does something for our ego when we could put all the bullet points on our church website. Yep, and this, and this, and this explains, oh, here's the big one. We're going to explain COVID. Have you heard the pastors out there explaining it? What your sin has done to our country? Please, don't listen to those people. Please, do yourself a favor. Just save yourself. They have explanations for everything. How about, I don't know. But I'm okay. Faith is this acceptance that I won't understand everything. But I know that God's good. And I know He's working, as we sang today, behind the scenes in ways I can't see. I don't have to know everything. It's trust. Think about this. You might just file this away for someday in the future. But the fights have been here. Because academia, listen carefully, doesn't want to go here. They don't have any language for here. They just don't have any language for it. And so they assume anything that's non-rational is here. Now, by definition, both of these are non-rational. Did you hear it? They can feel similar. It's okay. It's okay to be a person of faith. In fact, you will find you get right to the end of rationality when it just, you get frustrated and can't make sense of it all. Everything won't fit. And you're going to have to make a decision to take this step. You're like Peter on the boat. And you just got to step. And you got to trust. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than your brain. It's bigger than your mind. It's bigger than you can conceive. faith will put your life at a completely different level. I said faith will make you calm. Because when you're here and things start going wrong that don't make sense and you can't figure out, what do? Panic. There's a verse in Galatians, I'll close with this. I think it's chapter 2, I think it's verse 16. And it's often translated faith in Jesus. And we've heard this a million times. You grew up in church. You have faith in Jesus. Have faith in Christ Jesus. But the scholars will tell you that really the right translation is have the faith of Jesus. So what's the difference in that? The faith of Jesus is then you go, wait a minute. There is this Jewish rabbi from Galilee who had unbelievable faith. And maybe we should model our lives after his faith. Now, it's not wrong to have faith in Jesus. That's also important. Faith in God, all that. But the faith of Jesus would actually do something for us. Because now, I'm not as affected by everything else. Who here gets affected? You hear something, somebody argues, somebody does, and you get affected. And somehow when you have the faith of Jesus, you aren't quite as affected. All right, the guys are going to come. I'm going to tell you where the 7 weeks are going, and then we're going to sing a couple more songs together. But here's where we're going to go on this journey. Faith is positive. Faith is realistic. Faith will help you on your day-to-day relationships, your day-to-day friendships, family ships. Faith pleases God, and I put that in quotations. But faith is not just a religious idea, huge concept. It's not just a religious idea. This is not just for the religious, actually. And faith will help you out of the win or lose game. That's what we're going to be talking about. Because a lot of you, it's win or lose. Everything's win or lose. My team wins or their team wins. I'm right or they're right. I'm right or they're wrong. And it will help you out of that. Because it's transrational, it's paradox. It's faith. It's faith. I was doing some studying this week, and they're saying, they're trying to explain it. How do you explain this? How do you explain how music and worship can be a transrational experience? And can I just say this, by the way? This is not applied to church music only. My God, if you've ever been to a great concert, you got transported somewhere. True? I mean, just transported, like, well, I was somewhere different. Man, it took me way past my problems. It just took me somewhere. Transcended it. This is a real experience. And we're going to do some songs together, and maybe let yourself go there. Right? You know, put down your slide rule for a minute, your dictionary, and your little box of everything that you know and understand, and just, God is. He is. And He's here. He's for you. He's with you, and He's in you. Will you stand with us?